Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I am MotherAzure, very console con Maria. I am back again with another pick a card, and this one is meant to be about anything that is blocking your life right now. Now, the reason I'm doing this at this point is because by the end this goes up, I believe either in the same night or the day after, there is a full moon in Virgo. And it's, from what I've heard, an optimal time to remove blockages from your life. So I want to make this clear so you have an idea and use the energy of the full moon. Of course, you don't have to do it at that point, but I know that many people do work with the energies of the moon to remove blockages and just clean out anything that is not supposed to be in your life. So I did this a little bit differently. You saw me shuffle this. So these are going to be the 3 piles. I'm not going to use the charms today. There are no pre-picked cards, so I'm going to be shuffling everything on camera. All right. So I want to make something clear though. This is still a general reading, even though it is a pick a card. And I want to remind you that your future is in your hands. So whatever I tell you here, you also need to take action. So it is up to you, whatever choice you make after this reading. All right. So without further ado, let's get into your piles. So for pile 1, you have change, like healing, takes time. For pile 2, you have what comes when it comes will be what it is. And for pile 3, we have it will never rain roses. When we want to have roses, we must plant more roses. Here we pile 1 with this quote. This is your reading. I didn't explain it in the beginning, but these quotes, I'm going to just put that over there. You're not going to be able to see it. I picked them out from just movies or random books that I thought that I like the quotes. So they're really nothing other than that. It's not a deck. I just made them for myself, and I sometimes use it on the channel. So based on that quote, I'm gonna get into your cards though, so I'm shuffling your tarot right now. But that quote in and of itself, I signaled it with, you probably saw it, there's like a little Saturn symbol right there. Let me see if I can, if she wants to focus, there we go. So there's this little Saturn symbol right there. And I just put like some astrological associations that I thought were relevant to the quote itself. And considering Saturn is there, which change like healing takes time because Saturn is one of the very slow, you know, you have that Saturn return. Some of you could be during your Saturn return. I think we have about 2 or 3 in our lifetime, you know, depending on how long we live, of course. But the first Saturn return, which I would say that most people go through, is at between ages 29 and 30. So you could be at that point. It's a very difficult time because Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn brings a lot of things that are, it's kind of like what's due is due. That's what they're telling me. Oh, I didn't notice that was, fuck. Can you? Sorry about that. That's stay blurry and I didn't even notice. So she sometimes does that, like, to be honest, this camera. So you could be going through a rough patch where a lot of things are falling apart, and you are rebuilding a lot, and that's part of the healing. Maybe if you have been ignoring certain things that you have to do healing on, they have been coming up. And when I say ignoring, I don't mean it like consciously ignoring it, just things that maybe you could have noticed along the way, like about your own behavior, but you didn't really pay much attention to it, and now it's coming up like an actual issue. I'm still shuffling it. This is mostly channeling. And I find it interesting that that the quotes were the option. I was gonna get charms, but that wasn't the case. So I'm gonna get about 3 cards for you to see what blockages are in your life right now that will be released or you should be releasing. So it's a long time coming for you right now. This is especially powerful if, like I said, if you are doing your Saturn return, because I can't like ignore that little Saturn over there. Okay, so that did like a little gymnastics over there, and it flipped upside down like on my table. It did like a 180. So we're gonna take it like that, even though I don't read reversals, because I think there's, okay, those are too many cards, but I'm gonna take this one because it's the first one that I saw. This deck gets a little bit sticky sometimes because I've used it a lot. I have to clean it, so it sometimes does that. However, I'm gonna take this card. So you also have the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Swords in reverse, and the Two of Cups. So I'm gonna bring it closer to you so you can see your cards. There we go. So those are your cards right now. They make sense to me. Like, let's see if she focuses again. There we go. Amazing. What the fuck was that? Anyway, something just fell over here. So you have the Ace of Pentacles, this Five of Swords. This Five of Swords, with it being reversed, like this is very interesting to me because I recently, I was watching a reading and this card came up. And again, like I said, I don't read reversals usually, but the person, I remember they interpreted it as, instead of like an outward conflict with it being like this, she interpreted it as an inner conflict. And I think that makes a lot of sense. That's usually how I interpret the Five of Swords anyway, but I feel like it's being highlighted here based on that reading that I watched, because I don't think anything is a coincidence, to be honest. So there's definitely a lot of inner conflict here that is kind of stopping you from being in like full harmony with yourself and maybe even with people in your life. So there may be a lot of discord. Discord is the word that's coming to my mind. So there may be a lot of discord in your life at this time. And it may feel like you almost have to start from scratch, which again, if it's that Saturn return, it's gonna make a lot of sense to you. But it's like a slow start. I don't know if like before whatever this is that happened, maybe you felt some type of stability in your life. You maybe felt like everything was under control. It's what's coming through. Everything was under control, even though they're showing me something very specific. So they're showing me like this scene from Snow White where she's cleaning, and these two squirrels, they are sweeping the floor and they sweep the dust under the carpet. That's how they're showing it to me. So I feel like maybe you not that you thought everything was under control, it's like you convinced yourself that everything was under control and the dirt wasn't under the carpet. So I feel like this is something that you, like I said, it's been a long time coming. It's like, you know, it's there and it's kind of been bubbling under the surface for a while, but you hadn't addressed it before, and it's kind of like you're being forced to right now by the energies in your life. Of course, this may also be, if you're not going through a Saturn return, this may also be that they're telling you that this one needs to go. So whatever it is that you swept under the carpet needs to come out. It's time. So you may have been avoiding shadow work. You may have been avoiding working on this because maybe it's painful for you. Most likely, you know. I don't think that the fact that you're showing me dirt means that the issues are insignificant. I feel like they're important in some way, or maybe it's not that they're big issues that you have swept under the carpet. It's more like several small issues over time that have accumulated, and you're kind of like at a breaking point right now. There's a very inner conflict, so I don't feel like it is affecting your life, but it's affecting your life because it is affecting you, if that makes sense. So that's why I said that it may affect your relationships with others. It may be a romantic relationship. We do have that Two of Cups here, but that's not how I'm interpreting it right now. It could be anyone in your life. So because you're having this inner conflict, you haven't been yourself lately, if that makes sense. So you may be more irritable. You may be just more angry in general, more upset. Maybe you have been sad, almost depressed. Just very, like, not the type of person you used to be, if that makes sense. And that is affecting, of course, your view of yourself and how you feel yourself. But it has also affected close relationships in your life because your change in demeanor may have taken other people aback, or they, like, you may have, like, considering this Five of Swords, you may even be, like, entering actual conflicts with them in some way, maybe fighting a lot maybe with your significant other, your parents, your children. It all depends here. However, with this Five of Swords right here, the fact that it's in reverse for me, like I said, it signifies inner for me, but it also signifies that these issues may be fleeting. However, they're also showing me something right now. It's like they're showing me kind of like a timetable, and it's like things have gotten, even though the conflicts may be more sporadic at the beginning, but over time they have gotten more and more they have happened more and more often, if that makes sense. So again, it's like a build up. This is the build up, and you're like almost at the top of the mountain right here, at the top of the conflict itself, and that's why you're here. And I feel like probably this full moon is going to be a good time for you to work on it, because of the energies. Now, the energy is going to be strong, so if you're not comfortable with that, it's totally okay. This is just it was my original idea with this reading, but again, it is completely up to you right here. So that's the major thing that's blocking your life, especially from, being harmonious within your own being, truly connecting with yourself and also with other people. So this is probably something that is blocking your close relationships and your ability to get along with people, whether new people or old people. So this is more, when I say new people or old people, I mean people that you knew before. So this is like that major blockage. It may also be blocking finances right here. Maybe you have been taking a lot of time off work if you're working. Maybe you just haven't quit your job or something like that. But these are the two major areas that I feel are being affected. Your mind, obviously, because this is more like an inner thing, but it's affecting mostly these two areas and like the external world, if that makes sense. So if that resonates, you'll see it here. So we're gonna get some oracle. So I'm gonna use the Moonology Oracle, and then I'm gonna use the Starseed Oracle as well to see if there's anything else that they want to say about this. Maybe ways that you can remove these blockages. But I feel like just before I start, like these blockages, especially if there's like a Saturn return, you are not going to be able to remove them if you keep sweeping them under the surface. So these are issues that need to be dealt with head on. It's difficult, but I truly believe that you can do it, okay? Because if I weren't interpreting these cards as like what blockages are in your life, these are very positive, okay? And this card, especially like in reverse, for me, it signifies something that you will be overcoming, okay? Again, this is just my interpretation of reversed cards because I don't really use them. I don't really need to use reversals in my opinion, but I truly feel like there's something that you need to put the work into, and the biggest part of the work is going to be actually looking at these issues in the face. So let's get you some oracle, maybe one or two. We'll see what they want to give me here for you. Like every time I said like the Saturn return, like what came to mind was Adele. Adele recently, the singer, if you don't know who she is, I think you probably do. She had like a Saturn tattoo, and I was like, why does she have a Saturn tattoo? And she was talking about how her Saturn return was like a very difficult time of her life. So maybe you would like to read her story a little bit. Maybe you will feel identified with her story, or maybe you did if you already read it. So I'm smelling like coffee, but like specifically it smells like Starbucks coffee. I don't know if you're drinking like a Starbucks coffee or if you are craving it right now, but I just smelt it, so I'm gonna tell you. So we're gonna get there we go. I'm gonna get another one actually. I will get more from the other deck. Oh my god. Step out of your comfort zone. Alright. So you got have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon, and step out of your comfort zone, north node. So these are your cards. Come on, Playboy. There we go. So these are your Moonology Oracle. Did it just call my camera Playboy? Yeah, I did. Oh my god. So this is probably like one of the biggest messages of hope I could be seeing here. So what they're saying to me with these cards right here, especially with that North Node, North Node in astrology has to do with, it's kind of like your destiny, your future, where you're meant to be. So it's kind of where the South Node is what you have been through, the lessons that you have learned before, maybe even past lives. The North Node is the opposite. So it's the future where you're going, your goal in life, right? So I feel like this period of time is meant to take you somewhere. So instead of being like an actual blockage, there are blockages within this situation, of course, but once you deal with these blockages, this is gonna be taking you to where you need to be. So this is mostly something that's gonna kind of redirect you in the right direction, even though it may not feel like that right now. With this, have faith in your dreams. I think it's straightforward enough, but for me, this is a card that is very much about hope and it's kind of like persisting even through kind of like the pain, or maybe doubt, especially doubt. I really feel that right here. But with this butterfly, like this card has a butterfly right there, and butterflies are a symbol of transformation. So I feel like you're gonna come out a completely different person out of this period of time. Let's get one of these so I can actually give you advice on how to remove these blockages. But I feel like I already told you, so I feel like they're just giving you. I feel like they're just giving you like extra stuff here, because I feel like you have been very down, and I feel like I already told you, and the focus of the message is more so on cheering you up or giving you some more hope, because I feel like you're literally very down here. So let's get some more for you. Ooh. You may be feeling like very out of place right now in your life. I feel like that's kind of obvious, but it's like maybe you're experiencing a bit of imposter syndrome right now, or you have been feeling it your whole life, and this is one of the things that you need to address. But it's like you feel inherently isolated from other people. I don't know if this is like a new issue or an old issue, but it's there and they're making me acknowledge it. There we go. I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Holy shit. All right, let's get one more though. Do you see how I love it. I love it. I love when they do that. All right. Thank you. I have my candles over there for my spirit team, and they're jumping up and down a lot. Okay. I used to put them on my readings like right here, but there are too many candles. Oh my goodness, those are too many. Okay, no, let's try that again. These are like way too many cards, and it's not gonna read well. I can't do that many cards. They definitely do have a lot to say. All right, let's see. One more. This one. All right. So we're gonna get that one. The courageous. I can never pronounce the name of that flower. I don't know. The courageous peony, maybe? I don't know. Okay. So you have multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. So I'm going to bring those closer to you right there. There we go. So these are your cards. This is Starseed Oracle. I absolutely love these cards. So those are yours. So, I mean, I feel like with these cards especially, they're very much confirming what I said before about like the North Node. So it's more like a fret not, like it may be chaotic, it may be difficult, but they're reassuring you that this is not in vain. And I think that's very beautiful, especially now with this card. If I mention the imposter syndrome, I feel like with this card, they're really saying that addressing that imposter syndrome or that feeling of being isolated from other people is something that is actually going to help you remove these blockages. So maybe the part of the internal conflict has to do with these feelings of kind of being apart from the rest. So very Aquarian energy. You don't have to be an Aquarius. I just mean because Aquarius is usually kind of like the eccentric that stands out and is not part of a crowd. So it kind of feels like that. No, maybe not because they try to be that way, but just because they naturally are. And I feel like this card wants you to accept that nature. Maybe you have been trying for a long time to fit in with your peers, or just doing what is expected of you, and you have pushed kind of like a lot of dreams, a lot of desires under the carpet. Here we go again with the same thing. Oh my god. And you haven't been exactly happy, even if you pretended that that was the case. So it's like a lot of skeletons in the closet. That's how it's coming up. So there were things, not that you have done bad things, it's more like there are things that you wanted to keep hidden from other people, maybe and even from yourself, because you didn't want to address it, which to be honest, it's completely understandable. So you have, again, with this card, hold on. Oh, there are even more butterflies here. I didn't notice this card had butterflies. I don't know if you can, I don't know how close I need to bring that for it to focus. There we go. So, ooh, wait. It doesn't really want to focus for some reason, but if you look at this side that has the constellations, there are some lights right there that are kind of butterfly shaped. So this, for me, they're kind of butterfly shaped. I hope you saw that. This camera is like the vein of my existence. It's so good, but it gets so stuck all the time. So I'm gonna assume you saw that mess. So there's a lot of butterflies here. I didn't notice that this card had butterflies before at any point, even though I have been using this deck for maybe over a year. So I feel like a big part of these blockages, for them to be removed, the biggest part here is to surrender to them, if that makes sense. Because I feel like like I said, they have been put there for them to be dealt with, and a big part of that is to forgot the word. What is this? What's the word? What the fuck? Anyway, so the word is like, it's surrender. The word is coming through, but they were saying submit. It's so weird to me that that's the word that's coming through. And I completely lost the word surrender. Like, I just said it and I lost it. All right. What the fuck? Anyway, and by surrendering, I don't mean giving up. It's more like these things that you know are there that have been calling your attention for a while. It's about finally paying attention to them. So it's more like surrendering the idea of having to control this and keep it under the surface and not letting it out no matter what, regardless of the situations, and more like surrendering to the fact that you need to let go of them, if that makes sense. And by letting go, it's not that they're gonna disappear from your life. It's more like accepting them and integrating them into yourself. Because especially with this card that talks about unique nature, like I said, you may have been trying to fit in your whole life. However, you didn't feel like you fit in, even though maybe on the outside it seemed like you did. And they're saying here to embrace who you are just fully. Because, like that very cliche quote that's like, you can't fit in when you're meant to stand out. That's what's coming through. It's I hate that quote for some reason. It's so, I don't know why. But it's like it's exactly how it says. It's like you don't fit in because you're not the type of person that just fits in, and you're not meant to. And you're actually probably will be happier if you stop trying to fit in so much and just be who you are fully, just authentically yourself. And again, with this card, the fated life versus destiny life, they're saying that this card specifically talks about how your soul agreed to certain things before coming here. So there are things that you are going through that were predetermined. However, you also have the ability to choose your own path. So even if this is here, regardless of what I told you, you can still choose not to do any of this. And it's completely up to you, and I'm not going to judge you for it. I don't think they're going to judge you either. It's just up to you. There are certain things that are put in our lives for a lesson, not the exact event. I believe it's more like the lessons that you learn from the event, because many people learn the same lesson from completely different events. But you still have the choice to either accept these events, learn from them, you can also, you know, become bitter and maybe hate whatever happened, and not see the good aspect of it, which sometimes is very difficult, to be honest. But you can also choose, like right now, you can choose to look at these things in the face, or you may choose not to. So there's a lot about choice here. Ultimately, again, this is up to you. However, these things are here because they're meant to take you somewhere you're meant to be. All right. So this is something that was predetermined, because the North Node, like, we are born with our birth chart. It would be helpful for you to look at your North Node, and in any aspects to it. They're saying, if you don't know anything about astrology, maybe like ask for like a chart reading with an astrologer, because I honestly have no idea. I'm not an astrologer. There's like, this card has like two things crossing right here, like a certain point, which is obviously what the North Node is, but it's like everything in your life has led you up to this point for a reason, because there's something that you need to do right now, and I believe it's the choice of getting these things out of, you know, getting the dirt out of under the carpet, you know, actually properly taking care of it, or leaving it there completely, pushing it down until maybe one day maybe you will kind of explode from it, you know, because the more you repress things, kind of like the stronger they get under the surface, and the more they can control your actions, which is sounds counterintuitive, because you're trying to control them by pushing them down, but it actually has the opposite effect, because 90% of what you do is influenced by your subconscious mind anyway, your unconscious, and like, it is an actual thing. You can look it up, like in psychology. So really, it has the opposite effect of what you want. All right. And if you need help in any way, like from a therapist, from just anyone in your life, ask for it and actively search for it. If you don't feel like you're able to face something on your own, don't. Okay. You don't have to do everything yourself, because I feel like a big part of things here, especially without Saturn, is like feeling like you have to go through this yourself and you alone. Yes, but also it doesn't mean that you can't ask for help or have support or people cheering you up from the sidelines. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST and occasionally on Sundays. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do my updates about the channel over there, and I also put out readings occasionally as well there. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo, my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it's always very appreciated. I wish the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. With pile 2 with this quote that is your reading. So you picked this one. This one has like a little Venus symbol right here, because I gave it some astrological associations. So with what it says, like, I'm gonna put it over here, because like you're not gonna be able to see it up here. I put Venus because I feel like Venus is it's a planet that really strives for harmony in some way, or just beauty. And the big part of that beauty, I would say, is harmony, because Venus does rule Libra, which is the sign of the scales, you know. So that message is very much about relinquishing control, not trying to control everything in your life. So I feel like a big obstacle just based off of that for you may be the wish to keep, you know, control every aspect of your life. And, you know, me too. But even before I like at your tarot, wanting to control everything many times is like a trauma response, because maybe something happened in our past that was very painful, but very sudden, that you didn't have control of. And after that, you feel like if you control everything in your life, you can avoid such things happening. It's a big part of it. It's not your fault. Do not blame yourself for that. Okay, so you have, those are 3. I was gonna ask for 3 cards, and the first one that popped up is the 3 of Swords. I mean, the 9 of Swords and the Empress. Okay, so let me see how I can, anyway, there we go. So those are your cards. I mean, come on, there we go. This camera is gonna be the death of me. Anyway, Tell me that doesn't make sense with this. So this is very much about past trauma. Like, I believe that maybe a lot of this is, but especially your pile. This is talking about past heartbreak. This is talking about anxiety, maybe even depression. This person especially is having a nightmare, so you may have gone through things that you often relive in your dreams as nightmares. So things that are very painful may come back to you, or they have been doing so recently. Okay. They're showing me a scarab, like the little bug thing, like a scarab. I think you know what it is, maybe. Like the ones from Egypt. That's what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing it fly, so I don't know what that means. I have no idea what the scarab means. If you want to look it up, go ahead and do so, because I don't know. And anyway, so this is talking about, like, also how much you have been through in your past. Like, this card actually inspired my tattoo right here. This is very, very well maybe from childhood, and may actually have to do with a mother figure. When I say mother figure, it doesn't have to be your mother, it doesn't even have to be a woman. Just someone that you saw as like a protector of some sort, or someone that you could turn to and nurture, but maybe this person hurt you in some way, or they left your life in some way, and that's why you have these control issues now. Because especially if they left, like if they abandoned you in some way, just suddenly for whatever reason, you may feel like you could have done something to stop it from happening. So now you kind of keep everything in check, if that makes sense, to avoid something like this happening. You may have separation anxiety for some reason. I'm seeing a pet that's very fucking vague, I know. I'm seeing like a white dog, like a very fluffy white dog. So I don't know if you have a pet. Like, if this resonates with you, it's very likely that either your pet has like separation anxiety from you, and vice versa, or vice versa, you know. It could be you from the pet, or both. I feel like you search for safety a lot. And you feel safe when you have control. You feel safe when everything in your life looks like, it's like every day looks the exact same to you. And you are more than okay with that. In fact, you search for every day to look the same. So you're probably not someone that is very spontaneous. Now, they're saying something to me, and it's like the fact that everything is the same, it may have stunted your growth in certain areas of your life. So you may be someone who hasn't been in a relationship for a while, or ever, or doesn't have that many friends, because it's kind of like you prefer to have things in your life that you can control, and people is not one of the things that you can control. Or maybe you are just uncomfortable around other people, depending on what happened to you, because like this is like trauma. Like, these two cards, I don't care what you tell me, these are my trauma cards, okay? Especially this one, obviously, but with this together, it is something that is haunting you, that has been haunting you from the past. Now, the main blockage, like I said, is especially related to any area in your life where you feel like you don't have control, and therefore you avoid. So this may be work. This may be like working in like in a setting where you have to interact with other people. This may be relationships. This may be friends. This could literally be anything. Maybe you're someone that barely leaves your house because of this as well. So that's where the main blockages are. But these blockages are stemming from the past and traumatic things that happened to you in the past. Now, when I say traumatic things, like a lot of people think trauma and they're like, oh, something really bad happened, like a bad accident, or you saw like a very tragic thing. But that's not always the case. Trauma is what happens, but also what doesn't happen. So trauma can also stem from neglect. Trauma can stem from a parent figure leaving your life in any way. Maybe not that they were hurt in any way, they simply left. That's also trauma. And trauma sometimes also doesn't have to be something huge, or super, super tragic, just something that feels very painful to you, where you felt vulnerable and you felt like you had no escape. So that causes trauma. It could be tiny things over time that got you to this point. And when I say tiny, I don't mean that they are insignificant. I mean that they may seem insignificant to someone else. However, they were very big things for you. They're also highlighting here for me, especially with that Three of Swords, past relationship betrayal. So maybe you have been through that and now you avoid relationships for the most part, which is like, if you have been through pain in relationships in the past many times, is maybe you went from like being very anxiously attached to someone who's much more avoidant. And the thing they're saying here is like, those are the two extremes. So going from one extreme to the other is not going to help you, because on the one hand, being anxious, you're probably going to allow a lot of people to do things to you that like would be technically bad for you. Maybe you would allow cheating, you would allow abuse in some way. And when I say allow, I don't mean that is your fault. I mean that you kind of may have in the past justified the abuse as something else, because you were more preoccupied with not losing that person than with your own well-being. Well, on the other hand, someone that's avoidant, they just simply avoid any type of relationship. Maybe they may seek like quick like hookups or just something like that, no strings attached, because you don't want anything to do with relationships, because you want to avoid them. Or maybe you just avoid them altogether. Maybe this is abstinence even. But the thing is that both extremes, they're not securely attached still. So these are extremes of behavior, and they both have a lot of drawbacks. And I feel like you fall more on the end of the avoidance spectrum, at least right now. But like I said, that's blocking a lot of areas in your life. And you may feel like, I don't feel happy, I don't feel fulfilled, what can I do to fix this? But when anyone gives you like the suggestion of go out, meet people, you're like, nope, or you feel a lot of fear, and so you just kind of retreat back into your shell and you don't do it. And that's the thing, is like, I feel like this is a blockage, but at the same time, you may convince yourself that it's not, or you may actually convince yourself that you are not avoiding this thing because of these past things, or because you're afraid. You may avoid it, like, kind of like, you may, how do I explain this? Justify it with other things. Like, let's say, let's say a friend tells you, let's go on a double date. Like, I'm going on a date with this guy or this woman or whatever. Why don't you bring so-and-so? And you're like, no, because I have work to do. Or like, no, I feel sick. Or like, what if I go out? They said it was going to rain. Like, stuff like that. It's like justifying it, but just not to admit to yourself that you're afraid, or that this is coming from, the past. So a big part of removing these blockages is obviously going to be healing from the past. So you may need, if you need a therapist and you have the ability to see one, I would really encourage you to do that. If not, you can just slowly and very carefully deal with these things yourself. If you are in any type of very touchy state, in any state that is fragile, I wouldn't recommend doing shadow work at all. I would only recommend that to do that with someone that knows what they're doing. Again, if you need support, I feel like you probably have few friends. But there must be, like, if there's at least one person that you can rely on, go ahead and do that. I promise you that they're not gonna think that you're a burden. Okay, so let's get something else. Let's see how else to remove these blockages, or just extra messages that I want to give you. It feels like maybe these things have been with you for so long that they feel like they're part of your personality. For some reason, that's coming through with the Empress. I don't know why. But it's been with you so long that may feel very, very uncomfortable to try to change any of these patterns. Because it's like it came from trauma, but it developed over time, and now it's like a part of you, of who you are. You may be one of those people that goes like, "Oh, my whole personality is a trauma response." True, like it may be true. I'm sorry. Sometimes it does happen that way, but it's going to be difficult if that's the case. Much more difficult, because it feels like it's part of you, it's integrated. So you're going to have to work kind of diligently to peel those layers back, see what's under, because that's not your personality. This is something that this is a version of yourself that you created to survive. And I really don't feel like you are in whatever place or time in your life, of course, that severely traumatized you. So it's actually safe for you to discard or at least put to sleep that version of yourself, which is very scary. But I can promise you that it's worth it. So let's see anything else for pile 2. Ooh, we got... Oh, that's so interesting because we have the full moon in Virgo. I did mention this in the beginning. So you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. I love that. So the full moon in Virgo, which should be either tonight or tomorrow. It's a powerful time for you to, that's too many cards, to get rid of a lot of this energy. Maybe try to address these issues. Or maybe just the full moon in Virgo itself. It's going to bring a lot of energy into your life where you're going to feel ready and you're going to have the drive to address this, which is very, very painful. So props to you, honestly. Whether you do it or you don't do it, still props to you because you're still here. And I'm proud of you for that. So let's see that bad boy. Work through your fears. New Moon in Scorpio. Oh my god. Anyway, let's... I just love it when they do that. Oh my god. Alright, so you have full moon in Virgo, new moon in Scorpio. So... there we go. I love these cards so much. Okay, so... I'm gonna get from these as well. However, the fact that this is here, this just, I feel like it's confirming that this is an important time for you, but also that you need to work through this, especially the fear part, because the 9 of Swords is very, very much about fear. Again, with it being like someone waking up from a dream, from like a nightmare, these fears may not necessarily be rational, or they may not necessarily be rational, the fears I was saying, because fucking camera. But they feel very real to you, and that's very valid. So, but like, it's like they're saying that these fears can hurt you anymore because they're not capable of hurting you. They're only capable of hurting you if you keep being afraid of them, if that makes sense. Because I really feel here like this is more of a programming from the past where you learn to be this way because you needed to. But now you don't need that anymore. And I feel like they're showing me like certain friends. I don't know if you have any, maybe online even. It's like they're trying to get to you in some way. Or maybe they're showing me people that have tried to get to you before and you have turned them down. I feel like the reason that's coming through is like it's like they're saying that you have more support than you realize. This may even be like your spirit guide saying that. But you have more support than you think you do. You're not alone, even if it feels that way. There's a lot of depressing thoughts coming through, like you feeling like everyone will be better off without you. I completely disagree. I feel like you, like, despite everything, I feel like you're someone who people really enjoy being in company of. So maybe many people try to, maybe not many people, just friends and people that you know, they try to get to know you a little bit more. But maybe you don't feel good enough, obviously, with that. So you kind of, again, draw back into your shell. But I feel like even despite everything, you're like a bright light for many people. And you don't even realize it. So they're showing me like a library. So maybe if you spend like a lot of time inside your home, you get a lot of books. And I feel like there's someone in that bookstore, maybe someone like a clerk or someone that just a librarian, just anyone, a clerk, what the fuck? Just someone that works there or is there often and they see you and, you know, they say hi to you and they like to see you. Like you make their day better for some reason. That's coming through. So if that resonates, take it. So we have 2 here. We have empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, I believe, absorbing what's not yours, and double mission, light worker starseed, serve the world by being you. What did I just say about you being like a light in other people's lives? Like, I feel like you, I again, a lot of this comes from the past, and it's not the truth. Like, I don't know if a lot of people have told you, like, a lot of people, not a lot of people, like, in your past, someone told you that either you weren't good enough, or that you were bad, or that you were, I'm hearing cursed, or that you were, like a problem child, or just anything like that. But I feel like what they're telling me, like, they fucking lied to you, man. That's not true. Like, there are a lot of people that really enjoy your company, that you have helped, even if you think that you didn't. So if the part about the library resonates, it keeps coming through, talk to that person. What the fuck? I'm at my fucking limit with that camera. Oh my god. Okay, so if that resonates, the part of the library, talk to that person. They may brighten up your day. They may even tell you that you help them in some way, or that you brighten up their day. And I feel like that's very important, because I feel like you need to... A big part of this blockage as well is your perceived... the way you think other people perceive you, and you think that's negative all the time, or just bad in general. And it's like, a big way for you to remove this blockage is to find people and literally ask them how they perceive you. And I feel like, again, if the library thing resonates, that person is going to give you a very good answer. I don't know why, I don't know who this is, but I'm like actually seeing the library. It's so beautiful. I am in love. It looks like a Books-A-Million. I don't know if it's a Books-A-Million, but that's what they're showing me, because that's where I go all the time. So they're just, relaying that information to me in a way that I can interpret it. So this may also be talking about, there are a lot of memories here that may have been coming through recently, like I said, with the nightmares, but these are specifically memories. And if they're coming through in dreams, what they're saying here is that they're coming through because you are actually, oh my god, you're actually dealing with them. So your mind unconsciously is dealing with these issues as you sleep. And like when you wake up, like the way they're showing me this, like when you wake up from one of those dreams, hug yourself. So you just put, your arms around yourself, or hug like a plushie or something, and really stay there with yourself for like a little bit, very compassionately, because your mind is working hard to process those memories. It's painful, but it's working. Okay. And I feel like I said, when you come out of this, again, you're someone who's very empathetic with this card right here, obviously. But as you work through this and you realize that the other people's perception of you is not as bad as they made you believe that it was, whoever said that is fucking evil. I don't care who said it. I don't care. Fucking evil. No, you don't do that to people. You are meant to help a lot of people, especially people that have been through the same things as you. I don't know if you are studying like psychology, or to be a nurse, or something like that, something where you're actively gonna work with other people to help them with something. If you are doing that, they're saying that is, first of all, it's the right path. Second of all, even if that's not the case, you help people just by virtue of being yourself. Like I said, you bring a lot of smiles to people's faces. I feel like you're very nice. You don't think you are, but you are. And it's like, once you work through this, you it's like you're not gonna believe whatever the fuck they told you anymore. And the blockages are gonna be gone. Like I said, a big part of the blockages are what you believe other people perceive you as, which is usually bad, and these things from the past. But again, to remove this from the past, you need to process them. You're doing a lot of that in your dreams, so just be gentle with yourself, and get help if you need it. And the other part is this perception thing, which, like I said, the solution they gave me is that you actually ask people how they perceive you, people that you know, especially that one person, if it resonates. Okay, whoever came to mind, honestly, that's a person. So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST and occasionally on Sundays. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do have my other stuff at the channel over there, and I also post readings occasionally. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo, my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it's always very appreciated. I wish best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. This is your reading. So we have this one. You also picked one with the symbol of Saturn. So the fact that you picked this group, I feel like similar to Pile 1, there is something that is like these blockages have been here for a shit ton of time. It's been a long time coming. This quote specifically is about putting our thoughts into actions. Like if you want something, they want you to act on it, if that makes sense. Because it's like, especially with Saturn is a planet which refers to something that you have to work for to get. Saturn is a planet of karma, so whatever it is that you put in the work for is what you will be getting back, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna get your tarot. It will never rain roses when we want to have more roses. We must plant more roses. So this group is really pretty much like you get what you give kind of energy, especially with that quote. But we're gonna see what your blockages are with this tarot. Oh, Death card. And those two as well. Love it. We love to see it. Okay. So 6 of Swords, Temperance. You got 13 and 14, which is like Death and Temperance. So you got one after the other. So those are your cards. So I'm hearing gradual change in behavior. So like in order for you to remove these blockages, like it's coming through first like that, you have to literally move forward completely. So something needs to die, and I'm not talking literally, okay? No. It's more like a version of you or a thought pattern or a behavioral pattern that needs to be dealt with so it doesn't happen again. It's very harsh with that Death card. I like that this card says Death and Rebirth though. So you got also like Temperance right here, which is the card afterwards. A big blockage here, I feel like it's you wanting to move forward, but every time you try to move forward, something happens and pulls you back, or you try to move forward and then you wait for the results, and it takes a long ass time, especially with that Saturn here. It takes a long ass time. Okay. And that's very interesting to me because like with the quote, it's like you get what you give kind of thing because that's Saturn. However, it's like Saturn is, if we're taking like Saturn in astrology, it's like you're getting these blockages because before you move forward, there's something that you need to deal with, and it feels very behavioral in essence. So for me, this feels like something that you do, maybe a way that you think that it can't move forward with the future you after making this transition. So that's the part of, I feel like the karma of Saturn. So the first thing, like it's like you need to get rid of that first. That needs to be taken care of. That needs to be addressed. That needs to be that thought pattern. I'm gonna try to get what it is, but they're not giving me it right now. So I'm just gonna, finish talking about this. But I mean, Saturn is the planet of limits. So it's like you have like a do not pass sign right here. Even though you want to, it's like a metal detector. So Saturn is not going to let you through unless you put that thing down. Whatever it is, I'm going to try to get what it is, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to try to get more information with the Oracle. But it's like Saturn is like right there, like a like a security at the airport. And it's like, nope. no, this needs to go first before I let you through. So Saturn is limiting you, okay? So this blockage is a limit because you can't, like the way to get rid of it is actually to get rid of that one thing. So it's like a condition. So you need to get rid of something in order to get something. And I feel like a big part of this thing that you were trying to get is either a new outlook on life, a new place. Maybe you're going somewhere, you want to move somewhere else, or just a new type of person that you want to be. But it's like you're not willing to compromise this other thing for some reason. I am going to get more information because for some reason your reading is not being as straightforward about what the blockage is and more about how to remove it. And to be honest, I feel like it really fits with your energy though, because if you're trying this hard to move forward, it's like you want to get to the point, tell me how to get rid of it, you know? But Saturn is low, man. So he's low, right? So I do want to get what the obstacle is so I can give you more on how to get rid of it, you know? Oh, nope, just one. I don't want that many. Chill. All right. This is the Moonology Oracle. Even this Temperance card. So the angel person in this card, he is holding back the sun with his hand. So it's like, no, do not get close. So that's literally the energy that's coming through. It's like, you can't do that until you get rid of this one thing. So they're literally asking you to put whatever this is down at like the metal detector. Just drop it right there, or else it can't come through. And no, you can't pick it up again. You know, it's like there's something that, like I said, it needs to die. And with this death card, it's like once it's over with, there's no going back to it. That's the thing that's coming through. And maybe that's why you're so hesitant to let go of it, because it's something that you value in some way, or something that has been part of who you are for a while, and it feels wrong to just set it down, you know? But it's like you can't do anything without it. With it. It either goes and you move forward, or it stays and you stay. It's like, no, they are not giving me luck is on your side. New Moon in Sagittarius. It really fits with this energy though. So even with this, like the Six of Swords, I just noticed it. They're bringing my attention to it. So the woman in that car, she has like a luggage in her hand, but she's in a boat, and it's being like the boat is being moved by 3 crows. However, now that I look at it, it's like that's very heavy. So can the crows even move you? You know, it's like they're saying, you need to set this down to journey lighter, if that makes sense. That's how it came through, journey lighter. The song Healing Mountain by Wardruna, I cannot pronounce the name of the song. So if you put Healing Mountain, you will find it though. And you have your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. I love that. It has to do with that. So it's your Moonology Oracle. There we go. I love these cards. All right. Yay. I'm like keeping tabs on the fucking camera because it gets blurry. All right. So those are your cards. I love this. So with the Locus on your side, I feel like you may be preoccupied with what's gonna happen if you get rid of this. Because like I said, you're so used to it, and maybe you feel like it's a core part of you in some way, and you kind of doubt if you are going to be able to keep moving forward without this. Yes, you can. So luck is on your side. So they're saying that even though this may feel harsh, it may feel maybe uncalled for or like unfair in some way, it's good for you. They keep not telling me what the behavior is. So, oh my god. It's like, no, they just went straight into how to get rid of it. That's okay. I assume that you know what this is if you have been trying over and over again to, move forward, and you keep being blocked. Like I said, it for me, in my opinion, it's very behavioral, but take it as it resonates. Let's see if the other deck gives me more information of that. But your dreams need a practical plan has to do with that. Your quote, it literally says, it will never rain roses. When we want to have roses, we must plant more roses. So they're saying to assess the situation right here, to put down what needs to be left on the other side, you know, but you need to actually plan on how to put in the work. So let's say that there's an example. It may apply to you, but I'm giving it as an example. You want to start your own business, for example, right? In the past, you may have just started without any plans, just go with the flow and all of that. But maybe right now, with how structured Saturn is, and especially this Taurus card, they're asking you maybe to put that behavior of just doing things on a whim and without any type of plans behind for now, at least. And regarding this situation, I really feel like you're not going to be able to do that again. But it's like whatever it is that you're trying to do requires planning. So if you want to start a business, they want you to sit down and maybe plan what it is that you want to do, what your purpose is with this, any steps that you can take to make it grow, all of that. They want you to do it right now. So this is not something that you should keep in your, maybe this is even talking about you making plans like in your mind about doing something but never doing them actually. But they want you, it's like setting your feet down on planet Earth. So that's how it feels. So it's more grounded. So they also they're saying to commit. Now I don't know if you're someone that, especially with the Sagittarius, that starts things up quickly but then you never finish them. If that's the case, what Saturn is asking you to do, I mean, I keep seeing Saturn, but it's like, it's not Saturn. Anyway, like what you need to do, if that's the case, you need to actually finish things through, and then you can move forward, if that makes sense. So maybe you left a lot of things unfinished. You need to finish those first, maybe, and stop that behavior of leaving things halfway done. I'm giving them as examples. If it applies to you, take it. But I feel like you're gonna understand what I'm saying, because they're really not giving me what this, like, they're not giving me what the exact blockage is. Everything is like how to get rid of it, So let's see anything else here. I feel like the fact that they're giving it to me like that, like, just show them how to get rid of it. It's like, you have been doing this for a while now, and like, considering this is the death card, like, it shouldn't be for a while, because the death card is pretty abrupt. It's like a one-time thing. But it's like you haven't finished making that jump. Is that the word that's coming through for some reason, like I said. But like, the main reason feels like it's because you are not letting go of this thing. Let's see if you got 3. Anyway, we're gonna use all 3. It's fine. Jump. What did I just say? You're not making that jump. Pardon me. Andromedan energy, adventures, say yes to change. You are not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community, and portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards, wild card. Like what I said in the beginning, like, it feels like you are like at a metal detector and you need to move forward. So this person is like at a door right there, and it's kind of, it feels like considering whether to move forward or not. And that's, it's not that you are deciding whether to move forward or not, because I feel like you decided already that you want to move past this, but it's like you are considering whether it is worth it, if that makes sense. With the you're not alone, I feel like it makes sense, because you may feel a little bit isolated. Maybe you have been asking for help for the universe, and the universe has been mostly silent, or just giving you answers that you didn't like. Because to be honest, I'm guilty of that. Sometimes they give me answers that I don't like, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna pretend that I didn't hear that. Exposing myself here. So but with this jump in, like, they just said it like, this takes bravery, especially with that Sagittarius. Is like, they want you to trust that letting this thing die, allowing yourself to transform, letting go of whatever it is that doesn't serve you, that's not gonna serve you. Like, these things maybe served you before, but they're saying that where you're going right now, they're not going to serve you. They're just gonna weigh you down, if that makes sense. So this pile is more about letting go of things, whereas the other piles, some of them were like, oh, this control issues, wanting to keep things in your hand. No, this is more like you need to release. Like, it's like I said, they may have served you before, they won't serve you anymore. And then just do it, because it's like there's a lot of action. Even though these cards right here are mostly about moving forward and like taking action here, especially that Six of Swords, something sudden. You have been hesitant. It's like once you move forward, it's gonna be fast. But if you don't, it's like you have been stuck. Like at the door. You're not actually entering. Like, you're not going through the door. You're not going through the portal. You're just standing in front of it. Like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Like, do I like, do I need to let go of this thing? Am I gonna need it later? Am I like, I like this thing though. Like, why do I have to let go of it? They're saying that it's just like it's important for your future here, for your dreams specifically. So if you have certain goals in your life, this is something that is blocking the way between you and these goals specifically. With Taurus, it's more physical. So this may be, especially Taurus has to do more with the Venusian aspect of money, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. While Libra has more to do with love. So this is something more physical, and maybe mostly in terms of your career, specifically. But it could also be just goals that you have in your 3D life. Like maybe let's say, oh, you have a goal of getting a house, or you have a goal of this. But these obstacles, whatever they are, they're getting in the way of that. I wish I could give you more insight on what these, like the actual obstacle is. But like they're not giving me that. It's just like it's in between and it needs to go. Like I feel like if they tell me it like that, I feel like you already know. And if you don't know, this is probably not your pile. Because I feel like you have gotten messages about this over and over again, and you already know that it needs to go, but you haven't taken the step. With the year, you're not alone. Maybe it may feel scary for you to keep moving forward without this one thing, without this behavioral pattern. Maybe it's scary for you to change. Maybe change is terrifying for you, even though you want to move forward. And that's keeping you back. Like, actually, for some of you, the actual obstacle might be fear of moving forward, even if you want to. So if like you want to, but you become paralyzed by the fear and you don't actually do anything. But they're saying, again, with this, you're not alone. Ooh, okay. So they're showing me something very specific. So they're showing me like this thing, like on the other side of this door, this portal, once you make this jump, like what's waiting for you that's been pulling at you to make this decision is you. It's like the future you, is like the energy of you in the future. So this might be coming actually from your future self and or your higher self. So like I said, that's why maybe I feel like you have already knowledge about what this obstacle is, because this is you talking to yourself, like literally. And ooh, oh my god, like that's amazing. So it's like you can almost feel it, but you're not quite there yet. But there's like what's coming through. It's like you, I mean, you're literally not alone, like literally. So you have support, okay? And they're saying to keep a journal for some reason. I don't know if you're receiving signs, but if you have been receiving signs or having dreams or stuff like that, where it seems like they're addressing this obstacle, journal it, you write it down, because you're gonna find out something about it through that. Okay. Let me see, is there anything else at all here? It's just inaction for some reason. Like that might not be like the only issue here for many of you, but it's some type of inaction, or maybe your actions do not match what it is that you want to achieve, if that makes sense. So that's why this quote, I believe, is so important for your reading, maybe even more important than for the other two piles. Like the quote itself is the answer to your question right here. So yeah, no, they're not giving me anything else. All right, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST and occasionally on Sundays. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do my updates up at the channel over there, and I also put out readings on occasion. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it's always very appreciated. I wish you the best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye-bye.